Hey there, Ninja 4 here, and today we'll be looking at the top 10 best Western movies. And at number 10, we have Shane, 1953 film starring Alan Ladd, Jean Arthur, and Van Heflin. The story is about Shane, a skilled gunfighter who rides into the Wyoming Valley Territory and meets up with Joey Starrett and their family and decides to work for them on their farm to settle down and leave his past as a gunfighter behind. But a ruthless gang led by Riker was hell-bent on taking Joey Starrett's land and from others in the area, that he used any means necessary to force them out. Shane, who became attached to the family, realized he would have to step in to save Joey family from the gang of men after having a few run-ins with them before. Alright, in number 9 we have They Call Me Trinity, 1970 film, the first of the Trinity series, starring Terence Hill and Bud Spencer. It is an Italian spaghetti western comedy film. The storyline is of two brothers, Trinity and Bambino, who help defend a Mormon settlement from Mexican bandits, and also from Major and his men. In this film is gunfighting and action. Number 8, we have Unforgiven, produced and starred by Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman. This is one of the last Clint Eastwood movies as a Western. The story is about William Money, an aging outlaw and killer who takes on one more job to kill two men after he had turned to farming for years. William and his partner Ned and the Schofield kid took the mission in order to get the $1,000 bounty. Coming in at number 7, we have Once Upon a Time in the West, directed by Sergio Leone. The story goes as a man named Harmonica seeks revenge against the outlaw Frank, who works for Morton, a railroad tycoon, who wanted to acquire the land owned by Brett McBain family. A second outlaw, Cheyenne, helps Harmonica take down Frank and his men in some parts. The story has a very interesting mix to it, as the three, Harmonica, Frank, and Cheyenne, are very skilled on the gun and give a lovely climatic duo between them in the ending. Number 6, we have Trinity is Still My Name, another movie from the Trinity series starring Terence Hill and Bud Spencer. The story is of Trinity and his brother, Bambino, who pretended to be federal agents after being instructed by their father to become successful horse thieves. A lot of funny scenes are in the film, mainly of a traveling family that are always getting in trouble and bucking up with Trinity and Bambino repeatedly. In a town called San Jose, the two brothers convince the real monks to help them beat the outlaws that run the town. Coming in at number 5, we have The Quick and the Dead, starring Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio. The story is about the lady, a gunfighter, who rides into the town of Redemption, which is controlled by John Herod, a very quick gunfighter who spreads fear into the town and boasts as the fastest on the gun. The lady joins a deadly dueling contest to get revenge on Herod due to her father's death when she was young. The dueling contest is very unique and the best I've ever seen in any western, as some very quick and skilled gunfighters enter in hopes to dethrone Herod from his rule over the town. Number 4. The Magnificent Seven, 2016 film. The film is a remake of the 1960 movie, starred by Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, Lee Byung-hun, and others. Lots of killing in the movie. The storyline is from 1879. Gold mining tycoon Bartholomew Bogu and an army of hired guns forcefully seizes control of the American frontier town of Rose Creek and compels the townspeople to work as cheap labor. The townspeople tried to denounce him, but he responded by burning down their church and torched several of the townfolks brutally, murdering them in public. Emma and her friend Teddy leave town to get bounty hunters to help liberate the town, and one by one 7 skilled men were recruited and joined. Bogue and his army came charging in town, where the battle began and ended. It's a really brilliant movie and great movie. In fact, it's just one of those where you gotta just watch it to get all the details and enjoy it best. Number 3. A Fistful of Dollars, 1964 film, one of the first Western films with Clint Eastwood and Sergio Leone. This is the first dollar trilogy of the series. The start of the movie we see Clint acting as the unnamed stranger ride into town, and after being informed of the 2 power family that rule the town, in order to make money, he decides to play the families to fight against each other by showing his skill and accuracy to both, and starts working for Rojo Brothers for a while until he gets an opportunity to turn both families against each other. After a while, Rojo Brothers finds out about what he was doing, and he is thrown into the fight. Taking number 2 spot, we have For a Few Dollars More, 1965. The second in the series, each film only seemed to get better and better. The storyline begins with Manco, a bounty hunter, as well as Douglas Mortimer. They separately learn that a ruthless and notorious bank robber, El Indio, has escaped prison, and by his gang. Manco confronts Mortimer, and after studying each other, they decide to work together. Mortimer convinced Manco to join El Indio gang. Soon after, Manco and Mortimer were caught by Indio's men. Manco confronts Mortimer, and after studying each other, they decide to work together. Mortimer convinced Manco to join El Indio gang. Soon after, Manco and Mortimer were caught by Indio's men. Indio frees them later, hoping to kill off the rest of his men by sending them to kill Manco and Mortimer, so he and Nino could have all the money from a bank robbery done. And now, time for the number 1 film, one which you guys all been waiting for. It's none other than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. As we all know, Clint Eastwood makes some of the best Western movies ever, and this one is in no surprise to one of the best westerns ever made. In my opinion, I would put this one number one. This is the third and final of the series, and the storyline goes: three men during the course of the film learn a buried Confederate gold amounting to $200,000 in a grave. All of them are hell-bent to get this for themselves. The film showcases scenes of American Civil War in between the film. Tuco, Angel Eyes, and Blondie do all they can to get the information of which graveyard and tombstone the money is buried in. This eventually leads to the three dueling it out at the graveyard. The movie is packed with action scenes from the three men on their quest to finding the gold. The film is known as one of the greatest Western movies ever. Now, just to add something else for this movie, before they duked it out, three of them, each of them killed more than 10 persons. So they definitely showed that they were very good on the gun and brought a lot of expectations leading up to this final scene.